already finished the how to make a zombie shooter game in Scratch. All the tutorials. So now we will work on and learn a new how to make a boss fight game. As you can already tell by the title of this video. Anyways, let's get right into it. First thing I want to do is name the player, or the first price player. Then get rid of the second costume, and then we're just going to make a simple square as our player. Once we got that, we're going to make eyes for it. We'll copy paste that, and then there. Alright, now that it has eyes, we are going to get a one green fog flip, and then we're going to go to control, get a forever loop, and then once we do that, we're going to get if then, and then duplicate it. We're going to put it in the forever loop, and then we're going to go to sensing, get a key pressed, and then these are going to be for the left and right movement system. So I'll just use walls, but you can use any keys. And actually not walls, just A and D, because we won't be using the S button. Maybe in the future of this tutorial. Anyways, we're going to get a change X by 10, and then set it to Y, and then I'll make that -5. Or 5, sorry, not Y. But we do need variable Y. So we'll rename my variable to Y. And we'll set it to 0. And then we're going to duplicate this, and then we are going to change Y by 1. Actually, -1. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to motion, get a change Y by 10, and then we'll go to variables, get a Y variable, and then then it will continuously fall. Well, not continuously. We need to stop once it touches a floor. So we're going to go to stage, aka backdrops. Then we are going to make a simple floor. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to control, get an if, then, and then we're going to go to sensing, get a touch and color, and then we'll set the color to the floor color, aka black. And then we'll set Y to 0, and then Oh, but it's still syncing. If it's still syncing, as probably for most people, we'll just switch these two. And then it fits. And then, it works. Also, make sure the player always starts at 0, 0. X0 and Y0. Or wait, you can change it later if you want. Alright. But now, you can see our player is a bit plunged into the floor. We'll fix that later though, as we will make the jump button now. We're gonna get we're gonna duplicate this if then. We're not gonna use the S key. Well, maybe we might in the future. And then we're going to get use the S button, W button, and then we're gonna get set Y to 12, and we're gonna go to motion, get a change Y by 10. Then I'm gonna go to back to variables, and get and then change the y by variable y. And then we can jump. But now we can infinite jump, as you see here. And also, whenever we fall back, sometimes we might plunge into the ground just a little bit. See? So how do we fix this? Well, let's first fix the W button. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to variables and then make a new variable and call it fix jump. And then we'll set fix jump to 0, and then we're gonna change fix jump by 1. We're gonna go control, get an if then, and then we're gonna go to operators and get a less than, and then put to less than 1. So if it equals 0 or less, then it can jump. And then we'll set it to, and then we'll set the jump to 0 if we're touching the ground. 1 second. Alright, I'm back. Anyways, so if we're touching ground, we will set fixed jump to 0, but if we're not touching the ground, then it will be more than 1. And then it will be more than 1, and leading to that, we can't jump. So it fixes the problem of us jumping in midair. And since it continuously keeps jumping up by 1 and doesn't go down, this way it's fixed. And even if we fall, it's so yeah. Alright, so now that we have this, what we're going to do next is we're going to, sorry, cough a little bit. As you see, we're still being plunged into the ground a little bit, and we don't want that. So what we'll do is we're going to make a new block, and we'll call it fix jump as well. And then run without screen refresh. And we need this to be on. I'll explain in a minute. So now what we'll do is we'll take this, put it in fix jump, or actually name it fix fall. That's we've already fixed the jump. Now that we have that, it's the same as most of you've seen, but let me show you how to fix it. So we're going to get a repeat until, go to operators and get a not. That's it. And then we're going to duplicate touch and color black, and then put it over this. Then we're going to go to motion and get a change y by 10 and set it to 1. So this way, it will, if we're plunged into the ground, it will bring us back right up. And so that way, we have fixed the gravity problem. Now, we are going to make the weapon, because how else are we supposed to fight the boss without a weapon? So, we're going to make a new sprite, and name it sword. You can make the weapon anything you want. You can make it a dots that you can just shoot out from the player's strike, and then or you can make it a sword, which I'm going to. Make it a ninja star. Make it anything. But yeah. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to, well, of course, make a sword, but I'll just make a simple sword. If you want, you can copy my sword if you want, but like I said, you can do what you can make the sword look like whatever you want. And then once we have this, we are going to make the blade. Alright, and or you can make it a knife too if you want. But like I said, you can make it anything you want. Alright, so now that we have this sword, we are going to go to code, and then we're gonna go to events, get a one green flash clicked, and then we're gonna go to control, and we'll set the costume to 1, because we will make new costumes. And then what we'll do is we'll get an if then, then go to sensing, and then if mouse down, then we're gonna go to costumes, and then we'll tilt it a little bit, so while it's like next to player. We'll also set the black outline to more of a grayer outline, so we can't just infinitely keep on jumping on the knife and then jumping off of it, you know. So that way we can't still infinite jump. So yeah, I'll do that. Then I'll just make a couple sword effects. And then yeah. Alright, and then once we have that, you can make, also another thing, Harry, is that you make the effect, and actually I think I'll change the effect. Actually, I'll make it like a kind of swish, a swift kind of effect. Yeah. Also, I'll change the background to a darker color, like a gray color, so I can see the swish effect. So I'll go to bitmap, get gray color, do that, rotate vector, and then yeah. And then we're gonna go to looks, get a switch costume, 2 actually. We're going to go to control, get a wait 1 seconds, change the wait 1 seconds to 0.5, or actually 0.25. And then we're going to get and wait until, then we're going to go to operators, get a not. Also set that to that. And then we'll do that. And then we'll duplicate this, and we'll go to random position, and then switch it to player, so to actually go to random position. We don't want that. The reason why we need it separate rubber loops is because this has to wait until, so it will wait 0.5 seconds, then it will go back to player. And that will just look like glitchy movement. Also put the player in front. One, two, okay, 1 and 2. Alright. Alright. Okay. Now we also need it for if it looks behind. So what we'll do is we will go to costumes, and then make duplicate, do that, and then we'll also duplicate that, but just reversed. Alright, and then we're going to make a new variable and call it direction, or dir for short. We'll set it to 1, and then we will get an if then, and then if the direction equals 1, then, or dir equals 1, then it will point this way. But if it equals 2, or no, if it doesn't equal dir, it will point this way. And yeah. And go back to player, and then what we'll do is if the player is moving this way, we'll set dir to 2. But if the player is moving this way, to the right of the screen, we'll set it to 2. Or 1, I meant. And then oh, and I also gotta switch those two actually. Also make it actually faster, 0.2, and yeah, alright. So now we've finished the player and the sword. yeah. So now that we have this, we have the movement, gravity fixed as well, the sword. Alright, yeah. Alright. In part 2, we will make the boss fight, and we will also add, make the boss fight have, of course, attack attacks. We'll also add more weapons. This adding more weapons, you can skip that part if you want. It's just like an extra part if you want to use it. But yeah. Anyways, bye and have a great day.